On Friday, February 14th, Drake Gets the Boy and the Most Hated Out the Six released a collab album featuring Party Next Door, accumulating many accolades such as Give Me a Hug, going #1, but many fans of Drake became very skeptical towards UMG and Spotify, as they believe that Spotify was purposely blackballing and hiding the album from them when they searched it up on Spotify. But how true is this statement really? Now currently right now, Drake is overseas on his Anita Maxwell tour in Australia, proving to the world that he isn't going anywhere. But for his next couple day streams for his new album, Some Sexy Songs For You, it would be quite questionable. This album would have many fan favorites such as Nokia, Give Me a Hug, and Celibacy, and Drake would overtake Kendrick Lamar as the most streamed artist of the month with 56.4 million streams that day. But only a day later, this 21 track album, streams will be cut in half, leading many conspiracy theorists to feel like Drake was being silenced, aka blackballed. A hip-hop fan will post a tweet saying that when he searched up Kendrick, GNX pops up, but when he searches up Drake and Party Next Door, Some Sexy Songs For You is nowhere to be found. And another user would post, tell me why this is up next, when I've already done the whole suggest less for Kendrick and that song, and all I'm listening to is his Party Next Door and Drake album. And you can see Not Like Us is literally cut in between the album almost like a sandwich to be the song next up. What I can say for myself is that I've looked up the album on Spotify and Apple Music and it appears to be there just for me. But I cannot speak for everyone, and if Spotify somewhat did have some strange involvement in the shadow banning of Drake music, I know exactly why. Let's take it back a few months. If you can recall, in January 2025, Drake filed an 81-page lawsuit against Universal, which pretty much accused him of promoting, profiting, and monetizing a baseless claim, which was the claim of Drake being a pedophile from the success of Not Like Us song. Now we know that Drake and Universal and UMG are all in this hate-love triangle, which is really a two-sided thing because Universal Music and Spotify are hand in hand. Pretty much all the money that Universal even makes is from Spotify because Spotify licensed their music to the other people that we buy and we subscribe and listen to all the songs on their platform. Now the reason that Drake has an issue, like UMG has an issue with Drake, is because Drake is suing them for saying, hey, you let this guy create this diss song about me and promoted that diss song for a 30% less fee just to big it up and put it at the front of every playlist. Like we saw with this woman right here, who was clearly listening to the Drake and Party Next album from front to finish, but Not Like Us somehow became sandwiched into her listening session. But where am I going with this? Now during the beef, Universal Music whitelisted a lot of Kendrick Lamar's videos and let people react to them, which further pushed the propaganda or shied them news that Drake was a pedophile, and he didn't like that, with big creators like Kai Cenat, B-Lou, RDC, and No Life Shaq pretty much doing big reactions to it. And then they somehow made it worse, as in Apple Music, which is the first company that Drake actually launched in 2016, when users would say, hey Siri, and ask them to play Drake's music, Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar would start to play. So with all these things happening in the past couple months, Drake is in no position to 1, release music, 2, up for his negotiation, and the fact that he's releasing a new album which is under OVO Sound, which is still technically under Universal, we knew the numbers were going to be lower. And in fact, if his music isn't even showing up or being added to certain playlists, we know exactly why. And to make the lawsuit even more personal, Drake quoted Lucian Grange, the owner and CEO of Universal Music. A single lie can destroy a reputation of integrity, and while it takes years to build a reputation, it can be ruined in 5 minutes. And just like we heard in the 48 Laws of Power, Law 5, so much depends on your reputation. Guard it with your life, and Drake is pretty much taking every precaution to guard it with these lawsuits. Everything I explained should hopefully be no surprise, and here's why. If you look at this from a corporate view, just imagine, and it makes total sense by the way, imagine you worked at a job for 15 years and you've been the employee of the month every year for 10 plus years. Then a new coworker comes to say something negative about you that people somewhat believe because they hate you, and now your new promotion that you were due for because of all the hard work you put in gets revoked because your manager, aka Lucian Grange, starts to question if really as hot or valuable as you appear. And because the manager doesn't want to give you that reward, they start to lower your enemy coworkers' quotas so they can hit their incentives even easier of most streamed, most listened, most replays, and ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly what's happening right now in front of our faces. Now for the record, I can neither confirm or deny if Drake is being sabotaged, but based on what we've seen over the last 3 months, especially with the Grammys where Kendrick Lamar won 5 Grammys off one song, but guess what? Kendrick Lamar was front and center in front of Dr. Dre and one special person, Lucian Grange, as they celebrate the failed annihilation of Aubrey Graham. And Drake didn't like all of this. So much that after the Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl gimmick where he had to decode all these symbolism, Drake announced that he was headlining the Wireless UK Festival for all 3 nights, which has never been done before. Now it's pretty clear to say that America will not be seeing Drake for a while after they were so ungrateful and spoke negatively and slandered his name for the past 12 months. If I were to analyze some of the songs that Drake released post-Kendrick beef, we pretty much break this all on No Face, which was 2 minutes and 17 seconds of head tap bars. This is the shit that my daddy had to raise me on. Niggas got lit off the features I skated on. I gotta know. I gotta know how you get lit off the nigga you hating on. Numbers and touchables, they got the data wrong. This is the moment I know they've been praying on. If I'm Drake, you're giving me $1 million, $2 million plus every feature going on forward. Especially after Kendrick Lamar came out with the song Calling It All of Atlanta, which pretty much forced Atlanta artists not really to work with Drake because, hey, if you do work with Drake, you're doing exactly what I said he was doing. He's using you guys. You guys are all pawns. Kendrick did some nasty work. I can't even front. It was nasty. But like I said, this wasn't the first song that Drake predicted and said outright that people were clicking up and predicting and pretty much praying on his downfall. Lucky me, people that don't fuck with me are linking up with other people that don't fuck with me to fuck with me. The shit is getting ugly, and every situation is transactional, and everything they say is irrational, and everywhere they're moving is promotional. Everybody's acting irreplaceable. It's like they're indisposable, and my urges for revenge are uncontrollable. I know we're getting older though. Everything that Drake predicted in these 8 bars I recited came true. You saw people that he put into position or helped promote early in their career, like Future, The Weeknd, A$AP Rocky, and Rick Ross, and especially Flying Lion Dojo Master Kung Fu Kenny. But don't ask me, ask him.
Drake's a real good dude, first and foremost. You know, he heard my music probably a year back, reached out and just gave me respect on it. You know what I'm saying? So it was a mutual feeling for us appreciating the music. I put out Section 80 a couple months later, like, yo, I need you on this tour. You know, it'll be a pleasure, be an honor. I was like, that's dope, man. So, you know what I mean? I can't back down from that, you know, to expand my music to a crowd that haven't heard it before. I know it's 15,000 people out there. I'm used to 2,000.
Now stay with me now. What Kendrick Lamar managed to do off the back of the Drake beef was simply insane. The pop-up party, the Grammys, the Super Bowl. But if we're being honest, Good Kid, Mad City, which is a great album I'd add, not winning 1 single Grammy, but him getting 5 Grammys off Not Like Us is simply bogus. Now hold up, because I know you think I'm siding with Kendrick, and I know you just side because he's a Drake Glazer. He's a Drake Glazer. Let me explain. Kendrick Lamar is a very talented artist who is Grammy deserving, but not for right now, and here's why. Kendrick is being used as an industry pawn to factory reset Drake's value and his marketability. But why? This year, Drake was projected to sign a LeBron-sized record deal of upwards $500 million, and with this beef slightly diminishing his reputation, Lucian and UMG aren't promoting Party Next Door and Drake's album, and it's also the reason why it's not Drake's album featuring Party Next Door, it's Party Next Door album featuring Drake. Even though they're all under UMG, it just couldn't come from Drake because it'll be more diminished. The argument on both sides of the Drake vs Kendrick Lamar beef is that Drake needs to hold this L and move on, and that Kendrick Lamar's biggest moment came off the back of another man being Drake. Now, although both are true, nobody's letting Drake forget about this moment and pretty much forcing Drake to have no choice but to keep trash talking and talking his shit, letting people know that he's not going anywhere. Even though this is an R&B album, Drake saved shots for anyone who collectively came together for the failed annihilation of Aubrey Graham, which primarily considered radio and media personalities such as Charlamagne the God, Ebro, and if a nigga Hayden, call him Joe Budden. 3 first ballot Hall of Fame Drake haters. Drake is not that important. The reason that Drake is in this is because Drake is a sickness in the game. It could have been any artist, but it's what Drake represents. People love Drake. They love his music. We love his music. He's beloved. He's not one to go grip his soul from the bottom and go Ayukahushka and look himself in the mirror as Kendrick has prescribed him to do. It's about what the game does to artists who try to dominate. Drake would reference the beef, saying, I lost a lot of brothers to this dog-ass game. What am I supposed to do with all that pain? Sleepless nights, drawn-out days, thinking about how wrong I played. Now, it's no secret that Drake is upset, as people that he considered his real friends, such as LeBron, DeRozan, were two-stepping and throwing up C's to a song calling Drake a PDF file, and even friends like Ross, who he's made countless bangers with, and starting to think, has Ross even had a hit song without Drake? Yeah, he probably had, but most of them got Drake on them. This post-beef Drake is just different. And he's relentless and not giving up, and the follow-up is nowhere near. On the song Give Me a Hug, Drake said, yeah, Drake elimination, fake intimidation, take a minute, take a deep breath, here's a little bit of patience. Drizzy, you amazing, you the inspiration, you set the bar for the next generation. You don't have to be a genius to decode what Drake is saying right here. Drake is referencing the 20v1 rap battle, which was spearheaded by Kendrick Lamar, Metro Boomin, and Future, where The Weeknd, Rick Ross, A$AP Rocky, and all the people that he put on into their career were all dissing him at the same time. And what a time to be alive. Shout out to Future. Now, Drake came out this beef unscathed, with his mind, body, and soul, as he would say, fully intact. Drake would later make references to the wrestler Hulk Hogan, saying that niggas want to see me RIP on a t-shirt like Hulk Hogan. I appreciate the fans rock with me. This is really just a small token. Now, towards the end of the song, Drake would make remarks that if he dies, who will fill his shoes and give the world strip club anthems and bangers like he's done for the past 15 years, as hip-hop desperately needs Drake and no one can really replace it. Which is surely not Kung Fu Kenny, as nobody trying to listen to his pro-black protest music in the club ever. Funny how it's only bitch N-words waiting on the boys' obituary. Cause if I die, it's these ninjas that become the sole beneficiary. And what the F are they gonna do with it? head of girls at 29, which is Area 29, a strip club in Houston, on stage twerking with a dictionary. Now, this honestly simply made me laugh because Drake is saying that Kendrick Lamar can never take his place in rap, and that if he wants to be the main guy, which everyone's saying that he should be, and Drake should go to the back, Drake should give us time to miss him, that people are going to be bored. And that if Kendrick Lamar is rapping in the strip club about whatever he's talking about, girls are going to have to twerk with a dictionary because they don't understand what he's saying. We've seen the Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl performance and how Kendrick Lamar stands are pretty much forcing any random coincidence of Kendrick to be anything that devalue Drake's or make him look bad. I mean, just look at it. From the PlayStation controller to the quote-unquote hidden messages of Uncle Sam, which is Samuel L. Jackson, telling Kendrick Lamar, don't perform these songs, be better, be a black culture. It's like, listen, y'all, it's a Super Bowl performance. There shouldn't be any message to decode. It's for kids and supposed to be viewed by the general public. It shouldn't be that hard to understand. Now, what I will say is this album isn't a rap album, and if you personally thought this album was bad, you simply don't get women. You've never been in these situations where Drake is speaking about, and you will never relate to it, and that's okay, but don't hate the player or the messenger. Just hate your life, aka your game. One thing that I commend Drake for is that Drake has pretty much stepped on everything that Kendrick Lamar has done to make himself look less impressionable. Kendrick Lamar announced Super Bowl performance. Drake announced his Australian Anita Maxwell tour. Kendrick Lamar is a pop-up party. Drake releases 100 gigs of music behind the scenes, our favorite songs that we've never seen. Footage of us reminding us, hey, this is why we love Drake, because he's been feeding the culture for the past 15 years, and this is the reason why he is our guy. Now, Kendrick performs at Super Bowl, and Drake releases Some Sexy Songs for You a week later to bring back the spotlight onto him because, listen, I brought y'all here. I've been the main guy for 15 years. Don't let Kung Fu Kenny distract from the fact that I've been the guy who you really love. Right now, Drake is still standing stronger than ever, fresh off his Australian tour, and with Some Sexy Songs for You projected to sell 250K in his first week, which although was lower than Drake's typical first week sales of 500K, or $1 million like what he did with Views, this is something that we should have expected. Drake is suing his label. He's suing the people that given him hundreds of millions of dollars over his lifespan in the music business. Drake is dealing with a plethora of other things that are negatively influencing his album sales as well as his market value, as we've seen. But before I let you go, make sure you hit that comment section and let me know, am I tweaking? How do you really feel about Drake allegedly being silenced, or should I say sabotaged by his label? And is he being blackballed with the recent sales of his new album, or is this expected given the hype of the post-Kendrick beef and what the current climate of the hip-hop industry is? You let me know down below. Hit that like, comment, subscribe button, and make sure you hit that post notification bell.